Hi, hi. Welcome to my first sort of real YouTube video. Done a few little bits before. Done lots of cars, but never thought I'd do a video. I'll turn you around and let's see what we're looking at. Apart from me. I can figure this. 2015 Range Rover Evoque. 2.2 diesel, 9-speed gearbox. It's got the lot. Cameras everywhere, the blah blah blah. Only trouble is, the gearbox is knackered. If you try looking for a second-hand gearbox on eBay, 2.5, 3 grand. The reason being, these gearboxes, 9-speed on the 2.2, were made for about 1 year, about the middle of 2014 to the middle of 2015. The problem is, this car's been such a while, I've had it 7 or 8 months now, waiting to get one. And ended up buying one of them as a replacement, which I will be selling all the bits off on this. It's got the correct 9-speed gearbox in it. As you can see, I've already gotten that out. The timing belt's practically brand new on it. It was a runner and driver, believe it or not, even after the hard front impact. So I know the gearbox is alright. It is the 9-speed box, it's the correct one. And that is the number there that you need. EG32 7000BB. I think the EG32 7000BC is the same. But I'm still in two minds whether to just pull the whole front end off, as I haven't got a ramp, even my 4-poster ramp, and the whole thing's knackered now. Doesn't work. Is to just pull the whole front end off and change the whole lump over, the way I did with that one. I got that out. Yeah. I'll show you in a second. I mean, this is a good engine. It starts, no bother. I assume there's absolutely nothing wrong with the engine. Apart from the fact I've already been here. Right. And down there is a 2016 gearbox. So somebody's gone to all the trouble of putting the wrong gearbox on. But to change the gearbox, you've still got to take the front subframe off. So all the extra I'm doing will be disconnecting every lead. I don't know. There's a lot of work involved in taking the front end off now. But since I'm an old man and I'm by myself, that may be the easiest thing for me to do. At least I managed to get inside today. It was been parked outside there for months. I'll have to move some gear out of the way now. More or less in the way, to tell you the truth, where it's been parked. But it's a lovely car, lovely specs. I'm just hoping that the TCM, transmission control module, off this gearbox is going to work okay on this one, because I have no idea if the one on here is the original one or it's the one off this 9-speed gearbox. As you can see, I bought this from Copart, so it's not wrote off or nothing like that. It is just put in because it had a gearbox problem. You may think, no, the gearbox will be easy enough to do. I've heard some horror stories. The only one I've seen done on YouTube is by Salvage Rebuilds, and they had a bit of a struggle, so I think doing it by myself is going to be a bit of a struggle. So do I just change the whole lot? That is what I'm thinking. I'm going to be keeping informed, doing videos, see how it goes, posting the videos. They'll be rough, they'll be ready, they'll be what they are. Bit like me. Right, time for a cup of tea, I think. Here I thought I'd just start this engine, just let everybody hear it know it's a good engine. As if I can swap the whole lot over, this one will be for sale. What's really stick to performance, so I can't really rip it. As you can hear, it's sweet as a nut. And just to let you see, 78,704. So it's done nothing for one of these engines. A good old little scissor jack. Wasn't sure what that was going to take its weight, but that's it. See that wwc.car.net. It says 2 ton. I knew I had Freelanders on it before, so I knew it wouldn't be too far away. That'll give us a bit of working height. Obviously you have to put some axle stands underneath to not trust it by itself. But it should be alright. I'll get the wheels off. Nobody wants to say take the wheels off, do they? Well, as you kind of see, I'm getting a bit carried away without video or anything. Well, this is a few days later. I've been on a few of the cars. Sold a couple, got another one up ready for sale. I'll show you more or less what I've done. I've made my mind up. I'm going to try the gearbox first, rather than changing the whole lot, because that's a hell of a lot of work. I'm just about ready to drop the front subframe. I've took everything off. I've removed the bottom arms. I've took the steering rack off. I don't know whether I really need to. I think I probably did. Just so, well, I've took the tractor ends out, just so the fact that the steering doesn't get turned when the clock spring gets damaged. Before I made my mind up, where are we at? before I made my mind up, I was taking the bumper and headlights and everything out, which is probably still a good precaution because it gives you a bit more room underneath when you're going to go for the starter motor to separate the gearbox. Around this side, it's basically that same as that side, apart from I haven't took the drive shaft out, as it should separate. Well, I'm separating the gearbox from the what do you call the four-wheel drive. And if you have a look over on this one, that should stop on the engine, and I've separated it there so the gearbox comes away, so the drive shaft goes into there, and in doing that I don't need to take the prop shaft. The drive shaft goes into there, that'll separate from there, and that I don't need to take the prop shaft off. And of course I'm leaving the engine, so I don't have to take the exhaust off. But obviously underneath, you've got to take all the back plate and the exhaust mounting rubbers off, which if you haven't got one of these tools from China, oh, you don't know how much easier they make life for a sake of a tenner. I think the times I've struggled on with the exhaust freaking hanging rubbers. Never mind. But I pulled the drive shaft, obviously pulled the drive shaft out this side. This is all out of everything and everywhere. I'll just need to get it out of the way when I go. But I'm just about to now drop the subframe down. Hopefully there's still nothing left attached to it. Lost my stand. I'll have to drop in the camera there. By the way, every time I'm under there, I have axle stands under. In fact, there's still two axle stands under it in the middle of the ramp there. I don't really trust that with this amount of weight on. I'll have to try and get this arm back out of here. That should do it. How's that back? Should be for drop. I have to keep in mind, make sure. Everything's off. That's one way of doing it. Well, my jack idea didn't work very well, never mind. It's causing more problem now, that's not. There we go. Hey, dildo. Right, where to put this? I'd say the subframes are quite good condition actually, but I will wire brush all these bits down and put some Dimmetal on with spray paint over the top. Well, that's out of here. I didn't really want to do it the other way because I like taking the whole front end off and taking the engine and gearbox out together, because there's a hell of a lot of work involved in that. If it comes down to it, I'll have to do it. Yeah. Now I haven't got an engine support beam, so I might have to hook someone up to a bit of CLS just to stop that dropping. If I take out this one here, I'll show you exactly how much work was to do on this. I mean, the exhaust has got to come off the prop shaft. There's a load of connectors around the back of the engine, which I had to drop it, and pull it a bit before I could even get to them. And every single one seems to have different friggin' type of connectors on. You never know what you're trying to get off. But, yeah, I need to take that off, because I don't even know if that one that's on that gearbox in there is off the original one off the car, or it's the one that came with the wrong gearbox. As you might remember seeing, somebody's put a 2016 gearbox on, which is a 9-speed gearbox which fits, but they don't just don't work. They only work on the 2 litres, not the 2.2s. But such is life. No point in moaning. Get on with it, lad. I'll give you a look underneath the seat. Let's see how it is. Right, as you can see by that, steering rack's being left up. This one will be able to go in for its recall when it's back and running on the road. No doubt they'll just change the 2 bolts, because I've managed to get them out alright. They haven't snapped. As you can see, there's that mount, whatever you're going to call it, steering rack. There's them cables there, right, get out. Don't plug, and of course the anti-roll bar's still on. And now with having this front off, it gives you a bit more room to get up to where we are. The starter motor, which is still a get. Not sure whether the pipes need to come off. But it saves taking, I mean, there's leads all over. There's one lead goes down behind the back of the starter motor, so you've got to take the starter motor off, take that lead off anyway if you're taking the engine out. There's drive shaft. That drive shaft remained in. It's not too bad, apart from obviously the tank guards always rust to hell, didn't they? I'm here purchase a new one of them because it looks absolutely crap. Yeah, a little bit of rust there in the front there. It's on surface rust. I mean, it's been stood a while. It's probably been stood over a year, well over a year. So it'll all need recommissioning, all the brakes and everything. The discs, even though they are rusty, look new. They're not pitted, so I'll put the wire brush on the grinder and see how they come up. If not, let's get new ones. Here you can see I've disconnected the water pipes and blocked them off so I don't have to drain all the water out. All the coolant, as you can see nowadays. I've also took the boost pipes out of the way. Not one, and not one. And you can see on the flywheel, by the time the starter's out, you've got the plastic cover you take out the way. And them nuts there, which are on the flywheel, go through to the, what you call it. Yeah, take them off. What you do, just put some crank, turn it round, until your nut comes into there. Where it's grooved out, and then it's a 15 mil, yep, 15mm socket on. They are quite hard to turn first, but they do come. I'm not sure how many they use, there's possibly at least 6. And as you can now see, gearbox is out. Wasn't really too bad a job to do. There it is. And there, if you can see that tag on the top there, it says 040616. And that's the code on this one. That's a 2-litre gearbox. Does not go on the 2. Fits on the 2.2, but does not work. So I'm just about to take this. I did have a bit of a hassle splitting the box actually, because of one bolt, that one there, which I was sure I'd taken off. I kept on going around checking all the bolts, but no, I hadn't. But because it's on plain sight on this one, I thought, when it's in situ over there, that must be hard. But I've just drained the oil. The oil was a bit naffy. But as we all know, you can only do partial drains with these. So I think I'll leave this here as the end of part 1. I will be putting lots of other cars. I'll obviously be doing part 2 and even maybe as a part 3 of putting this thing back together. As you can see, I've got stuff all over the unit. And in between, I've got to get on with that little Fiat. That's Citroen C1. I don't know. There's a light keeps coming on, that kind of sort of. My Freelander 2 over there has a wobble when I'm braking. My van needs a timing belt. That's if I go back to work again ever. Never mind. But yes, no, it's fun. As you can see, I don't know what I said earlier on, but I took boost pipes and whatnot off, just to give us a bit easier. But when I do get the gearbox back on and back up and support it, I'm then chase the JD motors for them as that. I'm going to take this mount off so I can check the timing belt on this one. See what it's like. If it's alright on this, then I'll stop on. If not, I'll change it while it's easier, while I can get to obviously the flywheel to lock that in place and start the motor. Plus I can give it an oil change while it's easy enough to get that oil filter. Right. Thanks for tuning in. If anybody needs any sort of advice on doing this, best advice is don't. But it's not too bad. As I say, you didn't need to. I was going to strip that whole side out and everything, but there's no need to. You see this, hopefully as it all goes back together alright, he hopes. Anyway, I'm signing off. Taddy bye.